Hello, my name is Grahame Watson and I'm an Enneagram Institute authorised teacher, and I'd like to talk to you about one of the authorised workshops that I'm presenting, the 3 instinctual variants. Now, the 3 instincts are fairly well known within the Enneagram world and usually just seen as sometimes people call them subtypes, but really they are a variation of the 9 basic types. They come under the guise of self-preservation, the aspects about our nurturing ourselves, making sure that we're warm, comfortable. They come under the auspices of the sexual attraction, that sort of repelling and attraction energy. It's not just about sex. Sex comes in all different guises, all instincts. But here it's about that life energy. And the third one is the social adaptation, seeing the value of working together. Say somebody stays at home and looks after the children, or a group of people look after the animals, and another group of people go out and hunt and gather. It's seeing the value of bonding. Now, in the animal world, we see that in a certain way because the animal world have a little bit of a harder time. But in our human nature, where we can sort of just go down to the shops and buy food, we've got warmth, there's somebody already is looking after the power and electricity to make sure that I can talk to you at this moment. But they do manifest as a kind of dominant instinct. We have all 3. That's the first thing to say as well. But there'll be one which is dominant, there'll be one which is kind of less out of our awareness, one that we don't really pay too much attention to, and maybe even have some kind of issues around, some sort of shame around. Now, the one that's dominant doesn't mean to say we've got it right. It's actually the seat of most of our neurosis, most of the habits, most of the things that as a default mechanism we get most upset about if we're not getting it met. So in this workshop, what we'll be doing is looking at how they manifest, how do they look in the 9 types, what are the variations of the 9 basic types, which in itself is very valuable because it can be also the root of a lot of mistyping. We have all 9 types, therefore we also have all 9 instincts as well. So it's about bringing all of them into balance so that we're not just fixated in one of the either basic type, dominant type, and not dominated by the dominant instinct. So in this workshop, we'll all be exploring how we can bring them into balance by addressing the blind spot. There'll be practical ways, practical exercises. There's music in this workshop, there's inquiries, and some movement work because they are part of the instinctual moving center. They're part of this belly animal moving part. In fact, all life form has to move in some ways, so preserving ourselves requires movement. So the Enneagram Institute authorised workshops, there's 4 of them and you can see them on our website, do conform to a standard content developed by Don Richard Reeser and Russ Hudson. All the Enneagram Institute authorised teachers have been trained and scrutinised by Don and Russ. There'll be the same exercises, so you can actually attend this workshop in another part of the world and you'll have basically the same content. But of course the presenter is what makes it different, what makes it part of the variation, because we bring our own stories, our own life experience, and our own practical experience of working this material. My company is called metame.co.uk. You'll find our schedule page of our next instinctual variant workshop. If you wish to know a little bit more about the Enneagram, I certainly would recommend that you read The Wisdom of the Enneagram, Don Richard Reeser and Russ Hudson's last book. It does have some content on the 3 instincts. If you want to just test the water, please send your postal address. If you live in the UK, I can send this to you free. It's just a little 12-page guide for you to have some insights, just to see whether it's the sort of thing that you'd like to find out more about. Thank you for looking in. I'm Grahame Watson. We'll meet you again sometime. Bye-bye.